NFL Week 13 is just around the corner, and we got a bunch of great games to look forward to. All of the games are listed right here. So let's preview them. Let's go through who is going to win and lose every single game from NFL Week 13. On the Sunday slate of games, we have the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Houston Texans in a divisional matchup. The Colts need to win. They're sitting at 500. The Texans are obviously not really in playoff contention at all. Colts, if you are the team that everyone thinks you are, and if you are the team that you want everyone to believe that you really are, you cannot have a trap game. You cannot afford to lose. That would put you at 6-7 and not in a good position. You want to be at least above 500 in this very competitive AFC. Colts got to get the win here, and I think they do behind Jonathan Taylor, who is playing lights out as far as running backs goes. The best out of all the running backs in the league. They're getting the win behind him against honestly, it's not a good football team in Houston. Tyrod Taylor, I love you, but it's not a good football team. Colts get the win there. Vikings, Lions. If there's one team that I trust in the biggest, and actually not even the biggest, if there's one team I trust in the most obscure moments to have a dud game against a bad team, it is the Minnesota Vikings. DC, Dan Campbell, I'm talking to you right now. If not now, when? You gotta get this dub. I am taking the Detroit Lions until I can't take them anymore. They have to win this game. I'm gonna say they will, and it's a very realistic, I think, pick because the Vikings are inarguably the most inconsistent team in football. They're in some games, they're not in some games. They go down to the wire, they win, they tie. It's weird, obscure. It is the perfect type of game for the Detroit Lions to just find a way, finally find a way to just sneak in a win here and avoid an 0-16-1, just absolute record-breaking finishing record. Let's hope it doesn't come to that, though. Let's get them to 0-15-1. I got the Lions in this one. Miami hosting the New York Football Giants. Didn't look good for the Giants on Monday Night Football. They fired Jason Garrett. They win against the Eagles last Sunday. This is a team that, I think they're going to hang around. But do they beat a team in Miami that's trying to win 5 straight now, trying to push themselves back in the playoff contention? I don't think so. I think Miami's playing really good football. Tua is getting healthier and healthier. I think that's going to be the difference. I'm taking Miami in this one. Next, we go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Arizona Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons, who I don't know why they're winning games. They're just ruining their own draft picks. It's the Bucs, and it's you know what? It's going to be the Bucs by a lot early. Atlanta's going to come back against Tom Brady and then find a way to just dud it at the end because that's what Atlanta does. Prove me wrong if you think I'm full of shit, but I don't think I am. Tampa Tom does what he does best, and that is humiliate the Atlanta Falcons, and he's going to do it in their own stadium. I got Tampa Bay in this one. Jets-Eagles, very interesting matchup. The Eagles were a few drop passes away from actually winning or being in a position to win that game against the Giants. They possibly could have been, I believe, 6-6 at this point. That's not the case. They're 5-7, trying to keep pace in that NFC playoff picture. The Jets are just trying to keep pace with themselves. I don't know what to say about this team. Robert Saleh is a good coach. I think he's in a bad spot. Zach Wilson has the potential to be very good. He's in a just impossible spot as far as that offensive line goes and the lack of talent around him. It's going to be hard for him to pull out this football game, especially after the Eagles coming off of a loss that they knew they shouldn't have lost. I think the Eagles and Jalen Hurts especially are out to prove something. I think Jalen Hurts is out to prove that that last week, the 3 interceptions were not indicative of him. The Jets don't have the talent to match it up, which is saying something when you're going up against the Eagles, but I have the Eagles in that one. So the Arizona Cardinals are going to be taking on the Chicago Bears in Chicago. Man, oh man, the Bears really could have used the extra boost of firing Matt Nagy. They didn't, and they apparently won't. And I think they're going to find out why they should have this week when Arizona, the 9-2 Cardinals, absolutely stomped them 42-3. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be fun. It's not going to be football. It's going to be just butt ugly. Just like Matt Nagy's chances of actually staying head coach of the Chicago Bears after the season. Although the Bears have done worse things or made worse decisions. Please, 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 for the sake of Justin Fields, get someone who's actually competent at his job at head coach or at their job at head coach, please. Anyway, moving on, a really good matchup here between the Justin Herbert, and the, I almost called them San Diego, Los Angeles Chargers, and the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals are trying to honestly take over the Ravens spot in the top of the AFC North. They could do that with a win here and the Ravens loss. The Chargers are trying to keep pace in the somehow still competitive AFC West. They've no-showed in a bunch of games this year where we thought that, maybe the Chargers aren't who we thought they were. Maybe they're not ready for this big moment. This is a matchup of two very young teams that people have very high expectations for, and that we both know these quarterbacks have just superstar, Hall of Fame potential in both of these guys. And it's exactly the type of matchup that, honestly, I think we're going to be talking about this. Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow are two quarterbacks that are forever linked because of where they were drafted, when they were drafted. They're always going to be linked, and this is the first in hopefully a great series that we're going to see these two in over the next 10, 15, who knows, 20 years. That being said, I don't trust the Chargers, and that is not saying that I don't trust the Chargers in a big-time game against a big-time opponent like this to win just yet. I think the Bengals are more prepared at this spot than the Chargers are. That mainly has to do with the fact that, honestly, the Chargers completely did a dud when they faced the Ravens in Baltimore. When the Bengals did, it was completely the other way. They blew them out of the water. It wasn't even close. That's the bar. That's the difference between these two teams. I don't trust LA. I just don't. But who knows? You could prove me wrong, but I'm taking Joe Burrow and the Bengals here, and it's honestly easy for me. It's honestly easy, and it shouldn't be. Next, speaking of Los Angeles teams, the Los Angeles Rams will be playing host to Trevor Lawrence and the putrid Jacksonville Jaguars. Sorry, Tony Khan. What do you want me to say? If the Rams lose this game, they are look, here's all I can say. Rams, of course, but if they find a way to lose this game, there's going to be a lot of conversations about the decision to get Matthew Stafford and trading away what they traded away to get Matthew Stafford, trading away what they traded away to get Von Miller, instead of just keeping something that was working with Jared Goff. Say what you want about Jared Goff playing in Detroit. It's a putrid football team around him. Jared Goff got to a Super Bowl with this same LA team. You could argue the receivers around him were worse than the receivers that are around, definitely worse than the receivers that are around Matt Stafford right now. Not saying anything bad about Matt Stafford, but if they lose this game, you know that's going to be a segment on my show next week. You already know it. Washington is going to be going all the way out to Vegas to face the Las Vegas Raiders, who got that big win in the NFC East against the Dallas Cowboys. There's something about Heineke, man. There is something about that kid. He's efficient with the football. He gets the job done, knows exactly where to go, doesn't make mistakes, doesn't make timely mistakes, and he's a baller sometimes. Can he do it in LA in that raucous crowd, or in Las Vegas in that raucous crowd? The Raiders are weird. I think it's going to be a very close game. I think the Raiders do have a tendency, especially late in the season, to have these dud games in a row. The jury's still out on them. Because what I say, they start out every year. They start out some like very good. They start out like 5-1, 6-2. They and then they just fall off. We're at the point where they just start to fall off. Granted, they're coming off a win in Dallas on Thanksgiving Day. I'm taking the Raiders with a lot of skepticism. I think it's going to be a close game, and I think Washington has the potential to pull it out with Heineke, but going with the Raiders is my official pick. Finally, we go to the greatest rivalry in the history of professional sports. Fight me, everybody. The Baltimore Ravens are going all the way up to that putrid city up north in Pittsburgh, and they will be facing the down on their luck, older like Rover, Pittsburgh Steelers team. Baltimore by 7 touchdowns. So I'm just kidding. No, I think Baltimore's got it, though. I think Baltimore's got it. It's always a hard-hitting game. These two teams know each other. You could argue that there's no two head coaches that know each other well enough or as well as Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh do. Mike Tomlin became the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2007, Harbaugh in 2008. Ever since then, they have been battling each other twice, sometimes 3 times a year in the playoffs. This is going to be an interesting game. It always is. I'm a homer. I don't care what people think. Baltimore's the better team. Baltimore has a better quarterback. Baltimore has the better chance, and Baltimore is going to win this game. Moving on, we have an NFC West matchup. San Francisco is going to Seattle. I think Seattle has just had their entire confidence crushed this year. They're not going anywhere. They're 3-8. San Francisco at least has something to play for, and I think they've got it together. They finally got their running back in Elijah Mitchell healthy. Jimmy G's looking good, efficient. The injury to Deebo Samuel will derail them a little bit, and it might make this a closer game, but I'm going with the Niners because I just think they're on a roll, and they're just going to continue to be on a roll. Next, the Denver Broncos are going to be going on Sunday Night Football. This was flexed into Sunday Night Football, by the way. Denver Broncos, who are somehow, some way, under Teddy Bridgewater, after losing Von Miller, after trading away Von Miller, this division is like one of the goofiest in football. Somehow, they are tied for second in this division at 6-5. The Chiefs are at 7-4. Denver wins this game. Denver leapfrogs them, becomes number one division. That's how close this is. We have the Chargers, the Raiders, and the Broncos are all 6-5. And the Chiefs are 7-4. One game separating all these teams. Say what you want. All conventional wisdom would tell you the Chiefs win this game. But the Denver Broncos have the best scoring defense in professional football right now. People don't score a lot of points on them. And if you look at the Chiefs, I know the Broncos offense is bad. The Chiefs defense is just as bad. It's the perfect time for Teddy Bridgewater to finally have a 300-yard game. It's the perfect time for them to use Cortland Sutton, to use Noah Fant. Because the defense can't stop anyone. Can't stop a nosebleed, as Bart Scott would say. People are going to say that I'm an anti-Chiefs guy or whatever, but I think the Broncos defense actually pulls this out. Teddy Bridgewater is going to be very smart with the football, and they're not going to lose this game. I got Broncos by 4. Finally, Monday Night Football in a game that is likely going to decide the division. I mean, look, this is something I never thought I'd say, or many people didn't think they'd say this year. The New England Patriots have a chance this week to go 9-4 and really just start to run away with this division. Because right now, Bills are sitting at 7-4. Patriots at 8-4. Patriots win this game. They're sitting at 9-4. Bills at 7-5. A solid 2 games back. Not where they want to be. And for the Bills, it doesn't get easier. They still got to face a bunch of tough teams. That being said, I don't know what to say. That being said, there's nothing to be said. Bill Belichick is proving this year why he is the greatest coach of all time. He's taking a rookie quarterback in Mac Jones to an 8-4 record. Mac Jones has also played very well. Don't want to discount that, but Bill Belichick has prepared this whole team to play well. Defense is playing great. I think the Patriots win. and I I think, yeah, they go up to Bills Mafia. They go up to Buffalo. By the way, Bills have lost 2 at home already. They're 4-2 at home. So they are susceptible at home. Patriots have won 6 in a row. Make it 7. I got the Patriots there. That has been the full breakdown, preview, predictions of Week 13. I'm probably going to be wrong, but I don't care. Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also, remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.